Hi everyone. I just wanted to jump on, having just read an article in the Financial Times about Blackpool and towns that are forgotten by the rest of the UK. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Blackpool originally, and I'm actually moving back there in a few weeks' time. And you know, it's somewhere that I adore and holds a huge place in my heart. And basically, one of the reasons that I've started Sea Salt, which is a project that has come from me, my heart, my soul. It's not, as some people have said to me, that I've seen a trend in mental well-being or a gap in the market. It's genuinely something that's come from the experiences that I've had in my life, the challenges, and I want to be able to use that for good, rather than see it as a negative. So part of the reason that the Sea Salt plan has come about is because that will enable me to do that and to help people. But that's one part of it. People will purchase it, people who have money, who probably, are of a certain background, who have an understanding that mental well-being is something that we need to look after, that we need to cherish, who maybe work really hard, who live in big cities and who find that pressure and stress, and need an outlet. My big dream with doing what I'm doing now, and it's taken me a while to have no shame about saying this, because I think we all have money blocks, and there is a stigma around discussing money. But the big dream is to make it an international business, and the reason for that is so I can make enough money to do projects that help people who truly need support when it comes to their mental well-being. Blackpool is somewhere I adore, and I always said I would never move back there purely because there is no career there for me, and I still stand by that. However, because I'm setting up my own business, it's given me the opportunity to be able to move back there. And this article has really sparked in me, reminding me kind of the reason why I'm doing all of this, and that the big dream is so I can help those in need in the future. And I know it won't happen quickly, but there are so many social issues in Blackpool. They normally we end up on the end of the spectrum when it comes to teenage pregnancies or drug addiction, poverty, social housing, whatever it may be. We're always there in the top 3 in the whole country. And I think sometimes every time I mention Blackpool, most people have been, and most people have been as a child, and most people have happy memories there. And the article is right. There's a forgotten community there who live there. We lived there when I was growing up. We lived there, through the summer, when it's crazy, when it's hectic, when there's tourism, when there's a buzz, when there's beautiful, sunshine and the sea glistens. And we live through all of that, and we get driven mad by the tourists who come, but knowing that they keep our economy going. And then we live there in the winter when it's a ghost town, there's nobody around. And that's when these social problems just kind of come to the surface, and you really see them. You can really see how the town can struggle when all the tourists have been stripped away, and it's really at its core of its residents. At this moment in time, I don't know how I can help. I don't know what I can do. I'm hoping that will evolve as I move forward with my business at the minute, and opportunities will arise. But it is just, I think it's hard to understand it if you haven't lived there and if you haven't been brought up in somewhere like that. I am very honest and open that I am from Blackpool, that I am a working class girl, truly working class. I've worked from a very young age. I've earned my money. But I was blessed. I was blessed that at 10 years old, the Conservative government offered assisted places, and I applied to go to a private school, and after a few exams I got in, and I got every single thing paid for me. And that opportunity of education enabled me to live the life that I do now, and I am eternally grateful for that. I'm not saying that wouldn't have happened if I went to a state school. I have no idea. However, the education system in Blackpool is complex. You know, it varies so much depending on the school that you go to, and I think that happens in quite a few places in England and the UK. That education enabled me to create opportunities for myself and to accept opportunities because I had the confidence that I had an education that could support me through life. And that's where I am, why I am where I am today. I'm a 31-year-old woman who has moved to London 4 years ago, succeeded as a marketer, works in the centre of London, you know, earns a decent wage, and that really, I don't think, was the path that was meant for me. Being born into where I was in Blackpool, and you know, sometimes I just think it's luck. Sometimes, you know, and I won't get into immigration, etc., etc., but to add a dreaminess to this, you know, sometimes the stork just drops you off in the right or wrong place. You don't choose that. You don't choose if you're born into a war-torn country or into high society in Russia. You don't choose that. It happens to you, and then you have to live that life, and you make decisions along the way that can enable that, or you make decisions along the way that can be detrimental to that. And you know, I think the social structure in Blackpool has fractures, and we just need to do what we can to support it. And I am no expert on the social issues there. I've just witnessed it with my own eyes growing up, and I witnessed it every single day. And I was actually probably a part of some of those social issues. But we just need to try and do what we can. And so, as I say, my dream is to make Sea Salt a success, so I can fund projects that will enable me to help people who just can't get that help from anywhere else, whether that's because government funding's been cut, whether it's because they feel that no one will listen to them, or they're forgotten, or whatever it is. But I just think it's super important, and it's not easy, and it's not straightforward. And I don't think as one woman I can do a huge amount, and there are people in Blackpool who are already doing absolutely phenomenally amazing things, as they are around the rest of the country. But it just sparked something inside me. The article, one of the ladies that I am friends with on Facebook, you know, said I'm sick of hearing negative things about Blackpool, and yeah, we are. It's same old, you know, constantly negative things. And you get used to it. You get used to defending it. You just get used to criticism, to judgment, and it shouldn't be like that. It truly is the most magical place if you really take it for what it is. And I've said this all along. You know, you have to accept its charm, and you have to embrace it for being Blackpool. It's not a beautiful Miami seafront. You know, we don't have Michelin star restaurants. You know, we have chips that you soak in vinegar and hold in a paper bag and walk along the seafront, and we have winds and breezes that just blow all the cobwebs away after too many wines the night before. And, you know, we have the quirks of the pleasure beach and the tower and all these things that you will not find anywhere else, and it's so utterly unique. But with all that fantasy does come all these issues. And yeah, I hope the people who read the article digest it and it makes them think about the places in England that aren't as blessed with education to the level that it should be, and don't have that support, that network that's needed to really bust the social issues that occur. And yeah, that's it really. It was really just to, you know, highlight where I'm at with it, or where I feel with it. And I don't know, I mean, when I move back home, I'm going to work on sea salt full time, and whether with that I can offer some voluntary support to people who need it in terms of a mental well-being outlet, or maybe myself, I can learn more about the social issues, like really get to the bottom of it, and through that maybe help in some other way, or support the people who are currently doing amazing jobs to enable Blackpool to flourish. Maybe to those people who've never been, or who understand that they are from a more privileged background, I think the most important thing is to remember, don't judge. Just try not to judge. Judgment is a really difficult feeling to suppress, but maybe judge and digest it and consider where's that judgment come from, why are you judging, and just consider those people who don't have the life you have, don't have the opportunities you've had, and just think about, you know, as the article says, the forgotten people. Yeah, that's it really. There's a bit of a garbled Facebook Live that I felt the need to come on and do. But thank you for watching. I hope that the Blackpool will see better days again. It is pure magic with its issues, but it is pure magic, and I feel blessed every single day of my life that I was born there and I grew up there, and I wouldn't change that for the entire world. I also feel blessed that I had an education that allowed me to live a life of opportunity, and I'm also blessed now that I get the chance to move back there and to hopefully in some way, and I don't know how, help and support, and yeah, whatever I can do. Here's hoping those opportunities come, and yeah, and together we can all help make Blackpool a beautiful, beautiful place. So okay, thanks.